is Not So Fast, a Lineup Media Group production.
Here we are. It's Not So Fast, brought to you by Audible.com and by Amazon.com. Tony, Tio, Corey, and Big E with you this week. How y'all doing out there? Want to remind everybody, you can go to Audible.com, get that free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/notsofast, where there are over 180,000 titles waiting for you to choose from. Boys, we got a lot to chat about.
How about /not so loud? What the hell?
Oh, sorry about that. This
Turn Corey's earphones down.
Somebody's dying.
He's not used to being at a Who concert.
No. Man, you always reference that Who concert
There's
every
nothing
time
wrong
we
with
say
the Who.
something about being
Because
loud.
Keith Moon would turn up the speakers intentionally, and it is the clinical reason why
deaf.
Pete Townsend is basically deaf.
Right.
It's particularly Corey.
No, I'm loud.
I'm doing
God,
it
we
too.
started the show off on a shitter this time.
Woo!
Skip, let's move on.
All right.
Particularly, it's one time where
Yeah.
he loaded up the amps with all sorts of pyrotechnics or dynamite or something.
Yeah.
And Townsend had no idea. And when he blew it up,
Wasn't it the Sullivan Show?
no, I don't think it was on TV.
Yeah, it was.
It was?
There's video.
Brian
All
seems
right,
to know.
All right. And producer Brian?
He put explosives into his bass drum, and he packed it like just way beyond what the pyrotechnician said to do.
With
and then
the
it blew up.
pyrotechnician.
And it not only destroyed the drum set, it like shattered the cymbals and sent shrapnel into Keith Moon. And because of it,
Oh, that's great.
I don't like
Pete
that.
Townsend has permanent hearing loss on like his right ear, like, and it's basically dead.
So you're on your way, Corey. Just keep turning those headphones up. You'll be good.
It's actually me, the one who blew his ears out there.
Yeah.
Literally, still.
Trying
right.
to fix our friend Big Toes. And
We got a lot to chat about. And speaking of things that blew up, ooh, what the hell happened? I love a baseball brawl. I just love it.
How do you pronounce his name?
Tio, how do you pronounce that name?
Odor is his last name, and
There
I
you
believe it's
go.
Rugnid.
We'll punt on the
No,
first name. Who cares?
No,
I thought it was
it's-
rodent
the last part of it's
odor.
No, it's
Rodent odor.
no
That's what it...
Runid Odor, I believe.
Odor.
It is. Ronid.
I got to say, I watched the thing. He got one good lick in.
Oh,
that first punch was awesome.
That
He
was-
smoked him.
But the counter with the glove,
He
you
fucked,
can't counter with your glove on.
he fucked Joey Bats up. If Beltray hadn't caught him, he would have been going down. Hat, glasses, all of it, all at once. Ah.
Now, Tio and I would have done something specific in the middle of that fight once we noticed that Adrian
Ran.
very
Tio,
good, you two.
What would you have done once you noticed that Adrian Beltre was out on the field during the middle of a fight?
If he was out, trying to grab
Beltre's
me,
out there. He's in the middle of a fight. What would you try to do? Because there's one thing that this,
am I on his team or am I,
you're on the opposing team. There's one thing this guy can't stand above all other things:
Well, people touching his ears or his
people
head?
touching his head.
Who?
Adrian Beltre. He cannot have his head touched by another human being.
Shit, he was trying to help the guy
Whoa,
that just got
weirdo.
jacked up.
I know, but if you're in a fight,
they're
all you
both
have
from the Dominican.
How does he get a haircut?
I don't know. He might have to do it himself. He hates it.
What about a dentist?
I think they knock him out.
Strange.
What if they build that wall they're talking about?
I don't think it applies to him.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm just thinking
So
out
if they,
loud.
thinking about this, aren't all Trump's wives? Haven't they been from
man.
other countries?
I thought we were going to make it without
You-
talking about that, Jack.
It's a Kardashian or Trump world that
I
Tio
know.
lives in.
I didn't bring Trump up.
I don't.
The
Pretty sure
wall
you
was
did.
brought up,
Well.
so I brought up the man who's building the wall or wants to. Is he going to let like hot European gals?
Oh, I think
in?
that's a given.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, look at some of our some of the exports from
Goes without
that are
saying.
Latin American and South America.
Well, he's gonna. Well, they'll get green cards.
So the girls will be okay.
Oh,
okay.
there's no question. There'll be a special door for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
E, what door is that?
The back door?
green door.
Boom.
Just a guess.
Yeah, no shit.
Literally.
The serious. Why do baseball players even bother fighting?
I don't
I
know,
tell you
but that
what.
was the best
The
fight.
UFC heavyweight
fight.
champ now.
Yeah.
Former Division I baseball player. It was a big weekend for baseball players and fighting.
No kidding.
So maybe Odor was inspired by Stipe Miocic's fight Saturday night and decided, all right, I'm going to go ahead and throw.
It's funny because they seem like such tools that I would think they would get their ass kicked in most situations.
Did you hear the Rangers fans chanting USA?
It's like something about Mario.
That makes a lot of sense.
Did you hear the Rangers fans chanting USA?
I mean, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, all the Americans that are on the Rangers.
Odor is from Venezuela.
Venezuela,
Venezuela.
okay.
And then...
Where's Bats from? Dominican?
Dominican. So they broke out in the WWE USA chant?
And because the
cruiserweight division.
Because the Blue Jays are Canadian?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that
George Bush led them in the chant.
Way to go, George.
I forgot W used to own that team.
Yeah.
Can you
Would there have been a war? I mean, I was talking to a buddy of he was talking about the whole thing. He's like, good thing W is not in office. He would have declared war on Canada.
Or at least Toronto. We would have been in there. Oh, you know it. I don't know what you get in Toronto at the
Canadian bacon all over again.
Tim Hortons Donuts, but
So this all stems from Batista's bat flip in last year's playoffs. Baseball needs any entertaining thing they can get. Like if a guy hits, and again, that wasn't a 14-2 ball game. That was a close game. That was raw emotion, and I don't think he was doing it to show up the pitcher. He was doing it out of excitement. And you know what? I think
Batista?
I think every player should flip their fucking bat like that if they want to after
See,
they hit a 700-foot home run.
I kind of think he's a prick.
Oh, he might be, but he pissed all over that ball. And if he wanted to throw the bat in the stands,
I agree, man. You just
good
hit a
for him.
dinger. You got to do what you want. Walk it backwards, moonwalking the whole time, flipping the
Exactly.
bird.
Yeah, you do what you
Yeah,
want.
but this isn't fucking eastbound and down. This is professional baseball.
And that's why attendance is down across the board.
Kent Murphy.
I love that he's up on MLB attendance. This is great.
Speculation.
Flama Blanco.
Speculative, Your Honor.
The Flama Blanc.
Yeah.
Hey, no, do whatever you want. Just be prepared to pay the consequences.
Yeah. Well, he paid him.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
He did take a good right cross, I guess.
Ooh.
From a middleweight.
Yeah, and about knocked him out.
Yeah, that's kind of. But again, when the second punch comes with the glove still on the hand,
Did you see the glasses go flying? Like he hits them and the glasses just kind of go
There's a
flying.
souvenir for a lucky fan.
And his helmet.
Yeah,
those Oakleys are aerodynamic. That's what I learned.
dude, that was one of the better.
I've only seen 2 good baseball fights, and they both
You're going to talk
ended
about
in one.
Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura or not?
I didn't. Well, yeah, that was on TV.
I thought you were going
I
to
didn't
say
see that in
the
person.
Boston-Baltimore one, or New York and Baltimore
When-
went to the Yankees dugout.
When
and they were-
Pedro flipped Don Zimmer.
That was awesome.
No,
Remember
that
that?
was Boston and New York. Yeah, that was a good one
That
too.
was awesome.
Yeah.
But the
and
Baltimore,
the next night, Zimmer had the war helmet
Yeah.
on.
you can look it up on YouTube. The Armando Benitez when he was throwing at Yankees heads and they chased him to the dug. It went down the dugout stairs.
Did he have 6 fingers too? Was he another one of the 6-finger guys?
Jesus, how do we keep getting on this?
Well,
shit?
Tim's he
I love
loves
six fingers.
deformities.
There was 3 players within 30 miles of each other that had 6 fingers that all made it to the majors.
Yeah.
They live in like Chernobyl, or
Well,
Something
it was
like that.
It was some genetic gene pool, I'm
It's
sure.
like Chernobyl.
I mean,
That's from the minor league club.
The Chernobyl isotopes.
That's right.
I saw the Nolan Ryan one. I think is always the benchmark, right? Because the guy comes out and you just pound his ass.
I still think the sports fight though, that probably the most famous one's the basketball one with the Pacers and the
Pistons?
yeah.
But the best punch was when Rudy Tomjanovich just got laid out cold by Coltrane or
Oh no, is it Kermit Washington?
Kermit Washington. Kermit Coltrane.
Kermit the Washington here.
It's not easy.
I mean, he got laid. I mean, that was a career-altering hit.
getting laid out.
Did he ever play again?
I don't think
laid
so.
his ass out.
I'm not sure if he ever played. I'm not sure if he ever
No,
played again.
that was a serious one. But that's how fights outside of hockey go. Generally, it's one punch or a bunch of hand slapping. Because Nolan Ryan kicks Robin Ventura's ass. The other one I remember is pretty obscure, but I was at a game once where a reliever named Frank DiPino was basically headhunting Mark Grace.
I
Grace
remember this
charges the mound. DiPino sidesteps him, throws one punch, separates Grace's shoulder.
one. I remember that.
Laid him out right there.
I was a kid watching.
And I was
that.
like, whoa, what just happened? And that's how you do it. I mean, look, the only guys who really know what they're doing are hockey guys.
Yeah.
And we got one coming up later in this program. How about that?
What's up? Anyway.
I think
Yes, we do.
I don't think you can argue that Odor didn't know what he was doing. He's had a couple scraps in the
I
minors.
thought he knew he was doing until he threw
was-
a punch with a glove on.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
His counter with his left, he still has his fielder's mitt on.
I thought he was pushing away.
No, he's trying to throw a punch.
I didn't
That
see a
right he
second.
threw was, I mean,
It was
tight.
good. It was
Yeah,
good.
It was nice.
So Kelly
nice.
Chase joins us on the program a little later, talk about the incredible Western Conference Finals, also Eastern anything hockey that we want to talk about. Corey is very excited about this. He is the host of Chasing Pucks with Panger, which you can find on
excited.
the Lineup Media Group network at NHLpodcast.com. That's their website. Follow them on Facebook, facebook.com/NHL Show, and on Twitter, great follow at NHL Show. Western Conference Finals are here, Corey.
I'm happy. Blues
be.
are up 1-0.
Should be.
And game, as of this recording,
Yes,
Game two
is upon us as of
is
this
upon
recording.
us. It will be played out tonight at Scott Trade Center. What do you guys think?
Well, let's start with E for his analysis.
Yes.
Carry on.
Well, he was livelier than the crowd was the other night for Game 1. What the hell was up with that?
I hope
Felt
they
like a
win. I'll say
regular.
that. but-
Felt like a regular season game.
Is it just the way it came through on TV? Was anyone there? Did you go?
No, I didn't.
No,
I
you?
have to
Nope.
work.
Yeah, no. I mean, it did. Maybe it's just the way it came across on TV, but it felt
It didn't
just
feel
like you said,
uh,
Corey, regular season game.
I think Blues fans are almost trying to stay a little reserved as we get into this.
Don't want to get our hopes up. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I just think everybody's kind of holding their breath to see how it goes, but they never exploded. And
But
maybe
aren't
they'll
you-
be lively tonight. And it's a Sunday night. God dang.
You make the fans sound like beaten dogs or just afraid to be happy.
Well,
It's been a month of hockey, and we're not used to this.
there is something to what you say. I mean, it's kind of that like reserved hope where you don't really want to. Okay,
Like an orphan who's just ready to go home with some new parents.
Yeah.
Also, it's the rich people that are definitely going to these games.
That
and they're
has
like,
a
I feel like that's a problem in St. Louis.
golf
always.
clap.
Yeah.
Even-
yeah.
so-
As soon as the blue bloods show up, it all.
You can say what you want about Cardinals fans, and they sure think highly of themselves.
You mean because they give standing ovations to bunt singles?
Well, or just that scrappy middle infielder that goes and plays at AAA for
Well-tossed bag of peanuts.
a team for 6 years, and then gets called up in September, and then they give him a standing ovation.
Hey.
But it's not a St. Louis does not have the fans that are rabid that really get after the right
Never
fielder.
have.
Or go back to the Rams when they were in the Super Bowl in 99-2000.
Right.
The dome was alive then.
Electric.
Yes, that place got loud. That's the only time I can remember in St. Louis sports. Now I was 18 at the time, and it might have been different that I'm older now, but there's no really loud atmosphere at Cardinal games, and that's baseball, and it's really boring. The Blues games kind of
Agreed.
depends. They don't match a lot of the other.
If we were playing the
Stadiums.
Red Wings right now in the conference finals,
And Bob Probert was still a Red Wing.
they'd be going ape shit. The old barn used to blow up.
So let
During
me,
playoff
we kind of
games.
talked about this. So what if the Western Conference? What if it is the Blackhawks and not San Jose? Game 1 would have been batshit crazy. In my
Absolutely.
opinion.
Oh, well, yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's the new playoff format that takes away from
It
the
does.
chances of
You're-
having these big time
You're
rivalries.
dead on about
Yeah.
that. There's no question.
It does, but I think fans were nervous Sunday night. I know.
No, I think they were.
I kind of felt. I was like, here we go,
Here's
game
one thing that dawned on me. You've been a lifelong fan of that franchise. I followed that franchise since I was a teenager,
Right.
and they don't often get that far. But here's what I realized: when you really get into the NHL playoffs, you're starting Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, or either conference final, doesn't matter, right? And you're like, it dawned on me, oh my goodness, this is only halfway over.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been beaten up emotionally already over the past 2 series. So I can't imagine, as a fan, what it's like when your team closes out a cup.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
you have
that's
to be
living-
just beat to shit.
You have to be. That's living through 2 months of a roller coaster ride, unless you're just some dynamite Detroit team from back in the day that could just roll past everyone in 4 or 5 games.
Well, you know, the other thing they changed in the format this year is the first, and I don't even think they got it done, was they were going to start another round while a previous round was still going on the way basketball does. They'll start round 2
that
because
confuses the hell out of me.
If it takes too long, they just get it going. There has not been a long gap between games. It's like boom, boom, boom. They're playing.
Yeah. Congratulations, you won Game 7. Now let's go.
2 days later, here's your next series. And, I mean, fans get worn down a little bit, too. At least I feel
there's no question.
exhausted, but
There is no question. I'm looking for something here. What am I looking for?
I tell you this. They get to Game 5, Game 7, and they're closing it out. Like, I was at Game 5 for the Blackhawks, and the place was nuts. I didn't get to go to Game 7, but I can imagine.
What's the loudest venue you've ever been in?
Loudest venue. I was in the Dome a couple times, but you know what? I went to Indianapolis for a playoff game. Oh, my God.
What, Pacers, Colts? What?
Colts. Loud as hell.
No kidding.
I mean, you couldn't hear yourself think. And the Dome used to get
that's what I was
really
going to say.
loud.
Probably the game to go to the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers.
Was it?
Yeah.
And it depends.
And Minnesota, too, when they played Minnesota.
Because it was the first ever home playoff game
yeah.
in St. Louis.
Yeah, that was pretty loud.
The barn used to get really loud.
I feel like the game, and I think
Ear-achingly loud.
Oh, my gosh.
I think I sat with you at this game, Corey. At was it Game 6 at the last year of Old Bush?
Yeah.
Against Houston? Was it Game 6?
No, that was Game 6 of 2004. Game 7, 2004 to beat they beat the Astros.
When I got on the Houston TV telecast, they didn't air it, but I was screaming into their camera, and then Roger Clemens' son told me to F off.
Good for him.
Yeah, we had these Clemens
First of all,
jerseys on.
what were you doing at a baseball game past the 6th inning?
Oh, well, this was playoffs. And I was a little bit younger. And I was more fun back then.
It was a playoff, see?
Yeah.
All I remember about
so you can stay.
I wouldn't have made it to the 3rd.
what I remember
He
about
normally
that,
doesn't.
I missed Edmonds' catch in center, and when Roland hit the home run to take the lead, I threw beer in the air, and it went all over the
As it
people
does.
behind me.
As it does.
But everybody was kind of all right.
Would you say it was louder than a Kiss concert?
Nothing's louder than a Kiss concert. Who's got them beat?
I was just thinking. I don't know. Next week, I'm going to have a list of things that are louder than a Kiss concert for you.
I got to think AC/DC's up there.
I haven't seen AC/DC live.
Oh, my God.
Oh, so it's the loudest things you've seen, not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
period,
yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Okay, never.
Oh, nothing is louder than that. Yeah, than that show.
So,
You never know about Kiss.
what did Gene Simmons say about Prince that's making the rounds?
Well, the main thing he said was that it was pathetic the way he died because he overdosed on drugs. According to Gene Simmons, I guess he saw the toxicology before anybody else did.
Gene Simmons says this.
That's what he said. And not too many people
Has Gene
were
been
pleased.
clean for a long time?
Never smoked or drank a drop of alcohol.
Really? Good.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day even, huh?
It's a businessman you're talking
Even
about.
in the height of the 70s, he
shit.
wasn't going off half-cocked?
You think
He was
could-
always drug of women, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Slept with
true.
over however many thousand.
1 billion
He is in
women,
Wilt
roughly.
Chamberlain's territory.
Give or take.
Did he try getting on one of your girlfriends or something like that, or like made a pass at her?
Funny you bring that up.
I would be honored.
So we were talking about best shows we've ever been to, and I mentioned that mine was a Kiss concert, and my ex said, "Hey, listen to the show. You should tell the story about how that came about." And I said, "Well, we'll see if we can fit it in." What a good time to fit it in.
So that did happen. I remember correctly.
Very
Okay.
definitely happened.
Okay.
It happened actually twice.
Wait a minute.
That happened in Memphis. This was St. Louis. We went to the show. We were about 15 rows back. And we are walking around. I went to get a beer, came back, and she's talking to Gene Simmons' right-hand man, which I knew because I knew who he was. His name was Spiro Papadopoulos.
Of course.
Oh, it's Greek.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, well, he's Jewish, so I guess
What does that mean?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
where's the Jewish Greek link?
Fuck, I don't know. But
Corey's like, of course.
standing there,
Sure.
and she has a ticket in her hand, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Had given her a ticket to the front row.
Yep. Yep.
And I walk up and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Well, she told me as I was walking up, she asked him if he could get another ticket for her friend that was here, her girlfriend. And of course, I walk up, blew the whole thing.
Did he take back the first one?
Do what?
Did he take back the first one?
No, he didn't, sir. So we get to that point, and I say, well, you know what? We got one ticket. We're going to make this happen. Go down front row, slide in, Poison's playing. We just stick it out. We actually had somebody come down in between shows and said, hey, can we see your tickets? I said, I don't have mine. I said, show him, you got yours? And the guy looks at it and he's like, oh, all right. These people up here probably have fakes anyway. That's what we were thinking. Probably have
That's
good
awesome.
ones. So that or they were just wondering why I was in the front row. So the show's going. It's going. Gene Simmons spots her in the front row. He always has good-looking chicks on his side of the stage. So she's getting into it. She's real into it. Like her shirt got lost a couple times.
Lost?
Yeah.
How do you lose?
Well, maybe there's a wind machine in front, and I think it blew it up a couple times accidentally. I think, maybe.
It unblew. What is a button? Was this
It
a blouse?
might have been somebody to the left or right. It might not have even been her.
There's a wink going on here.
But she was having a
little
good time.
slow.
Having a good time, and Gene Simmons is pointing at her, like, hey, I've still got pictures from it. Hey, you, and he starts pointing at me, and he's like, you with her? And I kind of shook my head. He's like, yeah, and he just grabbed his cod piece and basically told me to fuck off. But he,
well played, Gene.
so how he plays this off is she, midway through the concert, he's like, go over here, tells her to go up on the side of the stage. She's up on the side of the stage with about 6 other chicks, just hanging out. Finally, they say, hey, girls, get off the side of the stage. You don't need to be here. You pyro and everything else. Comes back down. She's like, he said I'm going backstage after the show. I was like, you are? Well, all right. So she goes backstage after the show.
What are you doing?
I'm in the parking lot.
With the
car.
rest of the boyfriends.
I am the last car in the parking lot. Here she comes. Hour and a half later.
Walking funny.
It's like midnight. And she comes up. I'm calling my brother saying, man, what do I do?
No, you've been had.
She's
It's over.
backstage.
It's over.
She comes out. She's like, oh, I never got to talk to him, but I met Bret Michaels. Here's his autograph on a backstage pass. So that was that.
And then wasn't she on that VH1 show the next season with Bret Michaels?
Yeah.
She was the tattooed one.
I gotta tell you, Corey. I don't think you've heard the entire story of this 90 minutes spent backstage.
It's not really over there.
Oh, there's more.
No, there's more.
Well, there is more.
Okay, keep
Tune
in
in
mind.
next week.
Special
No,
guest.
No, I
coming
know.
up on the program.
I'm trying to keep it as okay. Here we go. I make this our. Britney Spears is in town like the next year. It's
Whoa,
our
this is a
anniversary.
leap. This is a leap.
And I get her tickets to her show. Britney Spears cancels. I say, hey, well, Kiss is going to be in Memphis. Want to go to that?
Okay.
She says, okay. We go down. Tickets not even close. Kind of how the rail will separate the side.
I got you.
Side seats going upward. He points her out at the side and is like, hey, come down here. Go. She goes backstage again. She's a good-looking young lady.
Oh, a given.
Okay.
I'll be on Facebook as soon as this episode.
Backstage, he comes off after the show's over, grabs her by the face, and says, you're going home with me.
Uh-oh.
Bret Michaels did, or
Gene Simmons.
I wonder what Shannon would say about that.
Yeah, but I bet she doesn't know about this. We go back to their hotel, the Peabody.
Oh, nice place.
And
they got ducks in the fountain there. Ian.
Yeah. We go back to the...
For eating or?
No, just for for ambiance.
Ever had duck? Go down there, and she says, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I told them you have cancer."
I love this woman. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
So she's with Spiro in there. I walk in and I'm like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey man, she's gonna go up and talk to Gene for a couple seconds." He's on the phone with her. He says, "Hang down with me," and I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta go. I'll just go. I'll wait out in the car, or I'll pick her up later." She comes running back out of the hotel, and we just took off. So she said he was on the phone telling her he was going to do some things to her, and that was it. She never touched him, but he definitely had his way with women.
How about him?
Decent human being.
Would you have let the girlfriend?
Hey, let's keep in mind though, he thought you had cancer, and he was still going to bang your girlfriend.
Fair point.
God
That's
damn.
a good point.
You're right. He is my hero.
Yeah, he is. He's a guy. He's a guy.
So hey, leave that cancer dude downstairs. Hopefully he doesn't die while you're up here.
How about his assistant being like, "Hey, we'll have a drink down here," and I'm thinking, dude, I thought you knew. She
Just
told
get you
you I
some
have cancer.
Kiss brand chemotherapy and radiation.
They're trying to kill you. They didn't care. There probably would have been a roofie in it.
Have some Kiss wine.
Corey's story is literally like it's out of Almost Famous, isn't it?
Kinda.
It's incredible.
Okay, but do you let,
Except the cancer.
as a guy, do you let like a celebrity have sex with your girlfriend?
Okay, hold on. Was on the list. Did you guys have a list beforehand?
No,
I don't think anyone does the list anymore.
Not
do
on the
they?
list.
Physical
no go.
list?
No
and
go.
by the way, up close, what a fat, ugly son of a bitch.
Hence the makeup.
Oh my god.
Do you think he drops like Kiss song titles when he's getting it on, like, oh, it's time for some Detroit Cock City or oh, here comes Dr. Love? Anything like that?
Did you say Detroit Cock City?
That's what I said, yeah.
Call me Dr. Love? But do you what if he impregnates her?
Maybe you get a night. No, you're not even married.
name
You're
it after him.
screwed. You're screwed, Corey. Either
Yeah.
way, you're screwed either way.
You name him Gene Simmons Smith.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And you had to know my girl, just
But you got a great-
sweetest, innocent.
Yeah, you got a great story out of it.
Yeah.
Was she the one who worked at Show Me's?
Yes.
Show me's
The sweet, innocent Show Me's girl.
poor man's Hooters. Show me's.
She's a nice lady.
Do they take coupons?
Oh, she
think
could have.
so.
No, it wasn't that she was like not good enough looking.
I
to
didn't
work at
say
Hooters.
that.
Well, no, she wasn't like the poor man's version. She
She knew
could've-
the owners at Show Me.
I said the franchise is.
She was.
Does the franchise
pretty
still
girl.
exist?
I don't know.
Shoney's? Man, they had great
Shoney's.
biscuits
They
and
had
gravies.
biscuits and gravy.
Scott
boy.
Steiner, Scott Hall,
Oh man.
Shoney's.
Kevin Nash are going to be opening a new Shoney's in Atlanta.
No question about it. All right, folks, time for a very special guest here on Not So Fast. We welcome into Not So Fast one of the hosts of Chasing Pucks with Panger, old number 39, Kelly Chase. Kelly, how are you, my man?
Doing great, thanks. How are you?
Thank you for joining us. We're doing very well, very excited about this Western Conference final because it's been a long time coming. And you said something very poignant, I thought, in Game 7 down in Dallas about how happy you were for the organization and the fans in the city of St. Louis that they were getting a shot at this after everything that Blues fans have been through over the past decade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for everybody because, you know, what happens is that you get in this funk of people thinking that you just want to be, you know, the mediocrity is okay, and that's not at all how we think with the Blues. But you only touch so many people and get to explain things to them or talk about it, and so, you know, for those that you don't talk to, you know, they think that that we don't have a passion or we don't care, whatever, and yet they hang in there with us. So. It's not from lack of effort. It's a hard league to win in, and it's certainly hard to get to where these guys are. And it's extremely hard. And yet, you know, you do want to reward the fans because it is important. And it is important that your city has a good feel in it. I mean, look, everybody knows there's a different vibration in the city right now.
No doubt.
Hey, Kelly, Corey here. I just wanted to ask, watching the game Sunday night and just getting through 2 rounds, finally getting to the conference finals after 15 years. What is the feeling around Scott Trade Center? It just seemed almost like a nervous atmosphere Sunday night. I didn't know if it was nervous, excitement. What's the feeling around the arena and around the team?
Really a sense of calm. I mean, they're an unbelievably resilient bunch. You keep hearing that. But, I mean, they didn't get rattled. They weren't popping champagne bottles and acting like clowns when they won because they thought that, you know, they'd won the cup already. They just were like even-keeled, excited, grateful they won, but they haven't accomplished what they want to accomplish yet. So for me, I think there's a sense of calm, like we've been down this path before, and quite honestly, we're just going to play the right way and hope for the best.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, Kelly, T.O. here. got a question about like the individual players. You know, Vladimir Tarasenko is known in St. Louis. What does this do from a national and even international standpoint for a player like Vladimir Tarasenko to be on the national stage?
Well, that'll be up to him. You know, it really will be. I mean, look at. You never had to worry about him in a big game whether Brett Hull was going to come and score big goals or whether he was going to play. And that's just the way he carried himself, and that's why he won a couple of Stanley Cups and a World Championship and or a World Cup. I mean, and has Olympic medals is because he thrived in big games and big situations. And you got to remember though, in Vladdy's case, he's learning on the job right now. He's never played in this kind of a playoff atmosphere before, and you would hope that he would take this and grab a hold of it and gravitate to going to the next level. And
if he does, say he wins the Western Conference Finals MVP or the MVP of the Stanley Cup, does he become Ovechkin, a Crosby? Does he put himself up there along the top names in the game right now?
I think so. I think he certainly does. I think if he can win a cup and really become a dominant player in this process, I think it's going to make a huge difference. Hey guys, I know you can hear sirens and
they're not after you, are they?
It's not me. This time,
we don't got another O.J. Simpson thing going on?
One time, it's not me.
You mentioned during the Game 1 broadcast, though, that you just felt Vladdy had to get on his horse and get going and get his feet moving because you do need him to elevate his game. By the same token, Chaser, you know that a lot of defensive attention is being paid to him. So San Jose and Dallas were trying their best to check him out of the game the best they can.
Oh, they most definitely are. I mean, they're not giving him a lot of space, and as soon as he's got an opportunity to get the puck, they attack a lot harder and a lot quicker. But then how do you fight through it? I think that's the question of that he is a target, and that he is, his name is circled on the board in the other room, and he's going to have to figure out how to make that space and create time for himself. But all he needs is to have the hands free and flip the wrists, and it could be in. So in order to be a game changer, what are you doing to make a difference?
Yeah. We've talked about Vladimir Tarasenko. Personally, I think David Backes is putting together a Conn Smythe campaign. What do you think of his play? How much does the captain's play elevate the others in the room? Is he the calming factor on that team? Is he finally becoming the leader everybody thought he could be?
Well, I don't imagine he's changed. I mean, you grow and you learn from experiences, and I think he's taking, like anybody would, a bunch of knowledge. If you walk down the steps into the basement, hit your head a few times, you're probably going to duck your head when you go in the next time. Don't put your head down. You're not very smart. You're not learning. David, I think, is the guy that ducks when he goes down the basement now. So he knows when to talk and when not to, and he's letting his game speak more than his voice. And I think that's what captains do. So in David's case, he's asked to be a spokesperson, but I think he's doing what he can to prove that he belongs at a high level. And he's got a contract here he's looking for a huge extension. And in David's case, every time the puck goes in the net for him, there's going to be a little bit more dollars added in the account. So that's I think he's letting his play speak for himself, and his actions are taking care of it.
Do you think he's a Blue this time next year?
It's hard to say. It depends on how they finish. I mean, right now, St. Louis, they're not where they want to be yet, and I think in order to get there, they've got some hills to climb yet. But I mean, if they can get themselves to the Stanley Cup final, they're going to work hard to take care of everybody because they feel like they have got a group here that's found a way to have success and could be hungry to do it again. So, and if they don't, well, then they've got decisions to make. Let's face it, not every team can be at the cap and still have a chance to be in the Final Four.
Right.
And this team right here has got guys that are due to get some raises, and when that happens, that means it's inevitably some people have to leave. So we'll see.
And that's happened with Chicago. They've had to blow up. They've won the cup a couple times, and they've had to blow up. Parts of the team because they just couldn't afford to re-sign the guys, right?
Well, that's true. Then again, they got Panarin, and they replace him with a $650,000 or $850,000 guy. They're going to have some trouble. But when you pay two players, $11.5 million a piece, you're going to run into that problem, and that's what these guys have done. So for for, it's money management is as big a part of the game right now as it ever has been, and is as important as coaching.
And then one more thing, Kelly. We have a mutual friend, Jeff Cooper, and he told me he knew that you were coming on today, and Jeff wanted me to make sure that you shared the story about you and Tony Twist having the fight when apparently you were staying in his house. Is that what happened, or is there a version of that?
Coop, first of all, you know what? I'm buying all the rounds when I'm around him, and now he's telling stories out of school. So now not only do I now on top of it all, he's starting to tell me out on stuff. And Twist lived in my house when we fought, and I told him, I said, now the rent's going up. Twister didn't wear his tie down in that fight and cheated on top of it all, but it was just saying, listen, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tony. He's my friend. We've grown up together in Canada, so Coop better watch, because there's a couple Canadians that are still running around town that'll handle you.
Beautiful.
And that's the other, one thing real quick, too, before we let you go. What is it about St. Louis? You see the youth hockey, and you see the youth hockey in St. Louis. A lot of the coaches are former Blues, and it seems like there's an abnormal, and I mean that in a good way, amount of former players that stay in St. Louis and stay involved with the organization and the youth hockey scene. What is it about St. Louis, or is that common for NHL cities and teams?
Well, we spend a lot of time, at the rink with our kids, and then, we have an obligation to give back as well. So I think the way we're treated, and somebody sent out a tweet to me today and said, the story, I don't know if you've seen, with the youngster from Canada we brought down that commentates the game with his father, who's blind, and he sits beside him and does the commentary. So that's
amazing.
There to film down, and they were asking that question, and I said we have an obligation to give back, but yet on top of it all, I think somebody tweeted in there, Chase, you get the key to the city. I said, I feel like I've had it my whole career. Are you kidding me? I didn't miss out on much here, so we stick around because people are so good to us, and really, it's not a cliche line. It's just true. Like, I rarely would want for anything in St. Louis, because I know that I'm one phone call away from somebody that's willing to help, and I don't think it's much different. There might be 7 degrees of separation in life, but I think there's only one in St. Louis if you're a professional athlete, and no more than 2 if you're a good person in the city. So I believe everybody, how they'll say, I got a guy. Well, everybody in St. Louis has a guy, and they're always willing to help, and that's why we stay.
Chaser, it's been 25 years since you first arrived in St. Louis, isn't it?
28, man.
28. Man, wow. Goodness. Hey, commentating on the radio. One of the neatest things that I think happens now is the color commentary. You guys are down at ice level. How are you enjoying that? Because that is such a different perspective than being stuck up in the press box.
Yeah, you know what? I'm up in the press box now for the remainder of the playoffs.
Yeah.
The NBC, ABC are there, but you know what? It's great. You get it. Listen, if you ever believed you could play again, just come on down the ice level and see how fast it happens and how short a space it is. And the higher up you are, the easier the game looks. You get down where the snot flies, and I'll tell you what, you realize real quick how big and strong and athletic these players are. It's the hardest sport in the world, not even close to play, because you have to make the shots like a basketball player, and you have to throw passes like a football player. You get run into like football players. You're on 2 little thin pieces of metal while you're doing it, and you can fight like a boxer, and you got to hit something that's moving at 100 miles an hour like baseball players do. So if any of the athletes would like to switch sports and see who had a little try at either one and who'd be good at it, we'd be willing to take that on too, because I can tell you right now, it's by far the most athletic group there is.
There's no doubt about it. Chaser, we love the podcast, Chasing Pucks with Panger. You can hear it here on the Lineup Media Group Network, including the latest edition that features Brian Elliott and Jaden Schwartz. Terrific stuff. Kelly, thanks for spending some time with us here today on Not So Fast.
Great talking to you guys. Thanks.
You got it, my man.
Take care.
Kelly Chase, number 39. I got in radio back in the day. I produced his first ever radio show. He was still playing.
It seemed like he remembered you.
Yeah.
He was real enthused.
He was enthused.
He's like, enthused. Tony something.
I'll tell you a story.
Right.
Chaser once he got really upset with me. I'm going to tell a Hollywood story so Corey can appreciate this.
Here we go. Hey, welcome back
to Hollywood Hubert Tells Stories.
So
Time check, 4:52 in the PM.
we're at Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta.
You and Chaser?
No.
Who you with?
Jay Randolph, Rob Fisher.
Robin Fish.
Yeah.
I knew it. There it is.
He actually exists, Corey.
The Robin Fish Show.
Yeah, he actually
Brought
exists.
to you by Tupac Shooting.
Oh, yeah.
So
Robin Fish.
we're at this benefit for something, doing a live show from it. And it's really a gala where people just get together. But we've been sent there to do a broadcast, and no one wants to be there.
It's Super Bowl Sunday? Or
It's Super Bowl Saturday.
Super Bowl night before?
Day before, afternoon before the game.
Is this where Ray Lewis killed the person?
No, this
Okay.
is not.
Okay.
Let me make that clear.
you there when that
Allegedly killed the person.
So, no one wanted to come on the radio show.
Yeah.
You know, I like Lorne Michaels is there from Saturday Night Live. Jerry Jones is there. All these celebs, and they don't know who the hell we are. And I'm not sure why we even
How
got
did
there.
they not know Robin Fish from St. Louis?
Right.
No, first of all, it's one person.
Robin Fish.
So what was the so it was Rob Fisher,
And Jay Randolph.
And Steve and DC in the afternoon.
so Jay and Fish.
Jay and Fish. Right.
Fish and Jay.
And
Fish and Jay.
Brooks Perriott and myself.
The parrot. Did you call him Parrot?
No, he wore colorful jackets though. They were like,
Interesting
"Come on,
tidbit.
can you run down guests first?" And I'm like, "God bless it, no." So eventually, like the show's going nowhere. I'm like, "Okay, we got
And what city are you guys in, Atlanta?
Atlanta. We got to get on. We got to get someone on the air."
Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon we're going to have Dabney Coleman joining us.
That would have been better.
Dom DeLuise joins us today.
That would have been better.
Why
So
didn't you do it from the Gold Club?
I don't know. Ooh, I don't know. That place pretty famous.
I think it's shut down, isn't it?
Well, I know at one time weren't the Knicks banned from going there, or weren't all visiting NBA teams banned from going there?
It was more of an NBA problem than a New York Knicks problem.
These NBA problems started long
So
ago.
anyway, I name dropped Tom Arnold. All of a sudden shows up. Remember him?
Yeah.
And I name dropped. I said, "Hey, I produced for Kelly Chase. Can you come on our radio show?"
We're the best damn sports show around, is what you
I'm
said.
just spitballing, man. I'm like trying to help these guys out, you know, from having to talk to some, third round draft pick that they have no clue who he is.
Tom Arnold was
Tom
better?
Arnold comes on. Yes, he was back. Oh, he was
Shit,
great.
well, Tom Arnold, no.
Tom Arnold came on and killed it. He was hilarious. Then I get a call back. Hey, Chaser's upset with you for. Tom said this guy asked him to be on a show that Kelly was on. He got there and Kelly wasn't on the show. I said, I never told him that.
Oh,
I just said I
Tony.
produced for Kelly. Would you join us on this radio program?
Because you Hollywood
bait and switch.
Yeah.
The old bait and switch. Yeah.
Wait a minute. We just told Chase that he was going to be on with Vin Scully, and it was us.
I seen a movie with Jack Nicholson one time. Would you be on my radio show?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So,
But let me tell you, when he says 1 degree, this guy, Chaser, knows everybody. Not just around this region. I mean, everywhere.
yeah, well, he was on the. I meant to ask him, but I didn't want to take too much of his time and go too far back. But wasn't he on? Don't they have like Skating with the Stars in Canada?
Yeah.
He was on Skating with the Stars.
Like figure skating? Like
I
type of
believe
thing?
it was something along those lines.
It's
And
crazy
we did
Canadians.
quite well.
It's
What
crazy
is-
Canadians.
what is-
The
skating?
Canadians prefer to call it ice dancing.
Sure, whatever.
What is skating with the stars?
Like Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. You get out and do a routine like Dancing with the Stars, just on ice.
What have you said? Oh boy, sweet Jesus! If Kelly was on the line still.
No, I just didn't know there was a. And no, I wouldn't have.
Yeah. I think he really liked it when you put him on the spot and asked if the Blues were going to re-sign back, since he was having a strong.
I just asked him if he thought he'd be a Blue the next season.
Yeah, well, just being part of the organization and.
I thought that was a good
that's
idea.
why I'm here to ask the hard-hitting
Ization.
question.
Hey,
Yeah, that's why we got Corey
This
here.
guy right here, he
Fearless.
is not. He is not.
Not afraid.
No, he is not a rights holder.
He will walk into that room and he'll just blurt out anything.
I like
It does
it.
not matter.
I like it. No, I do.
I am.
Hey.
You know that? Remember that No Fear campaign? Remember those shirts and the bumper
Sure.
stickers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think came up with that?
That was you. I
It's
remember
not you.
that and co-ed naked. Co-ed naked.
That was you.
Big Dick
Volleyball.
Johnson. The Big Dick Johnson shirts.
It wasn't Big Dick Johnson, it was just Big Dick. And it would be like, what was it? Big Dick's volleyball, Big Dick's hockey. Do you guys remember that campaign, Big Dog?
Stick your balls in her court.
Remember Big Dog?
Yes.
At the outlet store at the lake?
How can you guys not remember?
You don't
this
remember
stuff?
the TV or not TV.
There are.
They don't have this stuff on
I think I
Rodeo
do.
Drive for Hollywood over
I
here.
think I do remember that there are certain things, particularly from the '90s, which I think this is from. Am I right?
Oh,
I'm looking
yes.
at these big dog shirts.
There
now.
are certain things from the.
This was the '90s in a T-shirt form, right?
Yes.
We're just gonna have a throwback.
Nothing
show.
said '90s, probably like that T-shirt. And
can't
the fact that
ski
you
with the
found
big
it,
dogs
the
to stay on
fact
the
that
dock.
you found it at an outlet mall, I'm guessing the Lake of the Ozarks.
means they couldn't get rid of it.
Right, that's the last stop for everything before it goes to the incinerator. Let's try here before we burn it or send it to Africa.
Look, hon, they've got some bum equipment sweatshirts.
I have a buddy Leo. His dad
Ooh,
still
Umbro
wears
shorts.
His dad still wears big dog shirts. These things are from the '90s still. And it's like, like the
Well, the
awful
quality held
things
up.
on-
You gotta admit, the quality held up.
Are those Bugle Boys?
I had a pair of those.
Everybody did.
I had a pair of those, baby.
Yeah, hell yes.
Jordache jeans.
Come on, man.
You wore Jordache?
No, what
You're
was the tennis shoe that had like the,
British Knights?
on the side
I
of
don't
it? It
know.
had like the little looked like
Swiss.
gills. And they
yeah,
were like
K
the little-
Swiss, wasn't it?
Was it K-Swiss?
No, I want to say they were LA Gear,
LA Gear?
Knight, something
LA
like
Knights?
that.
British Knights?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I, don't
I know what you're saying.
British Knights were the shit, man.
Yeah.
I never
What
had
were
a
some
pair.
of the No Fear T-shirts? The slogans.
That's what I'm just looking up now. Like one of them was
No fear, I'm gonna
if you're
kill
not
your
living on
mother.
the edge, you're taking up too much space.
That's right. Who do you think came up with that?
Second place is the first loser.
That's Ricky Bobby. No, wait, that's Reese Bobby.
That is
That's Reese Bobby, not Rick.
There's a cougar in the car.
I know there is, son. I put them there.
Sorry.
Oh, man. Okay, that'll do it for part one of this program, and it's been outstanding. Thank you to Kelly Chase from Chase and Pucks with Panger. Again, don't forget the show, it focuses, it's not just a St. Louis Blues show. For those of you around the nation who know that Darren Pang and Kelly Chase are St. Louis Blues commentators, they do talk everything NHL, everything behind the scenes, everything in the locker rooms, coach, the guest, the players. They will talk to anyone from all over the league. They cover it all, and there simply aren't two more entertaining storytellers than Chaser and Panger. So tune in, the website where you can find all the programs, NHLpodcast.com, on Facebook. Great follow, as it is on Twitter, facebook.com/NHL Show and Twitter @NHL Show. When we come back for part two of our episode this week, Corey, we got some good stuff to get to, including the Cleveland championship
Believe
run.
land.
Believe Land, that's it. Believe Land.
So they run that Saturday. We'll get to it after this.
Believe Land.
O-Dog wanted to get, he was
Yeah.
like, no, listen. Never mind. We'll be back after
Just
this.
an amazing coincidence. I mean, we'll talk about it later.
And we got a little effort to get the man T.O. was talking up with Chaser Tarasenko, trying to get him on the cover of the EA Sports.
Frank
was-
the Tank.
Yes.
It is interesting to hear him say that if they get a cup and he performs well, that he's going to be mentioned along the lines of Crosby and Ovechkin.
The one thing, because I don't think this applies to the NBA, and I know it doesn't apply to baseball, but this is where the NHL and the NFL are very similar. You really don't make your bones until you lift that Stanley Cup.
True.
You really don't. As great as Brett Hull was, it wasn't until that night in Buffalo. Sorry, Corey.
That was a good night for Corey. Was he in the crease or not on that?
What fuck yeah, he was in the crease.
Still counted.
You guys can do an entire program on that
Hey, I
one.
hate to extend this, but what's in the crease?
There used
Depends
to be
on
a
how
rule,
you define the crease.
There used to be a rule in hockey that
Never
if
mind.
a
What's in
skate
it?
was God damn it. I thought he
But,
really wanted me to
A
explain
lot of
the
Canadian
rule.
girls like for good stick work to be done in the crease. There, E. That's where we'll leave it, okay?
We'll leave it there.
That's where we'll leave it.
Hollywood Hubert signing off on that one.
My prostate. No, sorry.
Right, prostate.
Part two.
Mine too, I guess.
Part two of the program coming up here on the LMG Network.
Not So Fast, a Lineup Media Group production. Find us online at notsofastpodcast.com. Plus on iTunes, Stitcher, and all major podcast outlets. Get every LMG podcast now at lineupmediagroup.com.